Yeah.
So,
Um, I wanted to ask you about you'd said when you had your early experiences, so up to the point where you actually, can you describe for us? You mentioned Celeste. Is Celeste like a guide, or how would you describe that entity?
so when I first came in contact with Celeste, she was put it this way, she was a being that I've known for a very, very long time on the other side. Where, and this is why when you hear near death experience stories, there are beings that you know over there that you've known forever, but you don't remember them
Mm,
now, right? So she was one of those beings. Um, it, she wasn't necessarily a guide. It's more of like a friend, you know, like just I mean, yeah, you could use the word guide. You could use the word also angel as well. It's the same thing. I mean, but it's just they're your friends. Like they're just helping
mm,
you when you need help, giving you information when you ask for it. But she's someone that has been a very turning point in my life in terms of showing me things. And once she showed me a lot of things when I was 16, I couldn't make sense of it, to be honest with you. It's like I remember trying to share the story, and it just would not like I could just tell you the feeling because I didn't have the details because I wasn't coming out of my body so frequently as I am now, controlled to access the information and get more
mm.
clarity on it. But since then, now I have a lot of clarity on things that she's shown me. But yeah, and detailed of the information, like time, how time works, thoughts, the nature of reality, like all that stuff she was showing me, the beginning of all things, really, like the black space, the void.
Mhm.
And it was almost like way too much information at that one experience where I was just like, well, it just felt amazing, back then when I was trying to explain it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did one of my other guests, Peter Panagore, so when he had a near-death experience when he was about the same age, about 16, I think it was 17, or maybe slightly older. Anyway, so but he didn't have the language to describe what had occurred to him, and it wasn't until much later that well, so as a result, he didn't tell anyone for 20 years. He was he was thought people would make fun of him, or that they thought he would be mad, and two, he didn't really have the language to describe what had occurred to him. Did Celeste help you sort of formulate a language and a way of describing things? And did you was did you kind of keep it all to yourself, or at what point did you just start to talk to people about your experiences?
Mm. Um, I mean, my parents always knew what I was experiencing, right? Because
Mm,
share with them all the time, and they would see certain things taking place as well. But publicly, I haven't shared it. I just started sharing it like 2 years ago, little bit,
mm,
and now it's like full. It's like now I'm at the point where I have so much clarity around things where and also with the recent experiences that I've had, also being told about the great work on the other side. That was also one of my dead relatives that told me that when I left my body. I was communicating with him, and he's like they call it the great work, which is waking people up to the other side. So ever since then, I've made it part of my mission here to wake people up to the other side, because when you wake up to that, you wake up to everything else. Everything it's almost like when you wake up to the true nature of the eternal self of where you go back to, you have
mm.
no choice but to slowly wake up to everything else. And so I've just been sharing my experiences, the insights, the clarity and things that I've gained from the out of body state, because the out of body state, like I said before, is no different from any near death. You access the same thing. And when people have a near death, what they I'm not um, bagging down on those experiences. But it reminds me of like when I was 16 years old. It's one experience. You get all this information, and you're trying to communicate all that through one experience. But take that same person that has had a near death, have them have a near death over 100 times in a single lifetime, and they're going to have a lot more clarity and things to share. You know what I mean? So that's sort of it's through all this time that I've been doing it. That clarity of things has become so much more clear to me. And
Yeah,
it's also I feel like it's a responsibility to share it in the right way, because if you don't share it in the right way, then it's really not even going to be heard. And at that point, there's really no point in even sharing it. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, when you say in the right way, can you so, I guess, I think what you mean is a bit like the way that's, the whole, ufology and UFO research, et cetera, how it began. It was very much anyone involved with that was a pariah, and that's still something that they're battling with now, even though, it's becoming a bit more legitimate, the research in that area. You think it's the same sort of thing with, out of body states?
It's like it's sharing it at the right time. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, I could go into some of like really deep stuff, but but probably go over people's heads. And it's just
Mm.
like, it's not going to be heard properly. So I like to keep things based off, questions and things like that of just easing people, just getting them used to the concept because it's like, if I tell people right off the bat, like, everybody has the ability to leave their body whenever it is that they want and access potential time events, see individual thoughts, like literally see the thoughts of another person, because when you're out of your body, you have access to also your field and their field as well. And when you're out, you could see their thoughts, not as just like a reading the mind, but you are actually in it. You could touch it, feel every single emotion and the expression of that person that was thinking that particular thought at that time. And so when you access all these things, it's like it's you want to share it in the right way where people could actually hear or clarity, if that makes sense.
Mm.
So it doesn't just
Mm.
go in one ear out the other or way over the head, and then you miss the whole point of it.
Yeah, you do have to pick your moments. So I've found
Yeah.
that too. Just talking the one and only out of body experience I've had. I told a few closer friends, and then I think, um, obviously my wife was like, yeah, like she's completely fine with that. But you can just kind of see that, for some people, it's like, yeah, their belief systems allows for that, and for others, it's just too far beyond what they currently the framework that they live their life within, and it's yeah, you kind of. I agree with you. People really do need to know that this is available. The tricky part is knowing who to tell, who to talk to.
Yeah.
But I guess if you have information like what you're doing, you put information out there, then people come to it of their own accord. I suppose that's the best
Yeah,
thing.
and I just think now is the right time as well. Like you
Mm,
look at the consciousness of individuals are ready to receive it, you know.
mm,
Um Now anyway, I mean, you look in the past. I mean, even when I was 16 trying to share this stuff, it just wouldn't work. The
yeah.
consciousness just wasn't there for, and the one of the important parts though is getting people to understand that this is not just for one individual. A lot of people, when they hear stories like this, they think it's for one person, or you have to be some dedicated trained for this for your entire life and all that stuff. And you don't have to do that at all. You, you need to understand certain things like sleep cycles, what sleep paralysis is and how to control that. And when people learn how to do that, everybody can access what I call the other side, you know, while they're physically here. And a lot of people, when they hear that, they s- sometimes it's like, yes, it sparks something within them to try it. But when they're presented with the opportunity, like I've had a friend where I was showing him like the out of body stuff, giving him tips and stuff like that. And I said, this is the stuff that you could experience. You'll experience this. You may see a being in the room. If you see a being in the room, don't freak out. And so he's used my method of doing the out of body state, and he's in sleep paralysis. He's like, Darius, yeah. So everything that you said, actually, I'm in sleep paralysis as I'm coming out, but I felt this being in the room, and and I was like, no, I'm not ready for this, right? And then he just snapped himself out of it, like so. Even like that, it's almost like some people just aren't ready to see it just yet, and so they prevent themselves due to anxiety, fear. It's like I don't feel like I'm ready for this yet because it is very, very. It's more real than this experience here. It's hyper real. So
Yeah,
I like to say it's more dense, right? But
yeah.
that's just another way to yeah.
I've always found the idea of accessing like different realities really exciting, and I think that was also part of my problem. I didn't go for very long because I was so excited about the fact that I'd managed to do it, and um, so more pretty much the opposite of fear. I don't know why I didn't feel like it was anything to be afraid of, but it sounds like a lot of people are. Do you find that that occurs much with people that you work with, where there's it's the fear that gets in the way for them, or is there's some other thing?
It's fear all the time.
Yeah,
I would say 99% of the time it's fear, and if it's not fear, then it's when they actually leave the body, they get too excited and they're like, "Holy crap, I'm actually out," and then it's like suck right back in. Yeah,
yeah,
but it's typically fear of like you're looking at. You have to get rid of the fear of death, like first and foremost. Like you have to be in these experiences, as you would know in sleep paralysis.
mm,
It's could be incredibly scary for people to experience that. Now, in order to leave and not wake up the body, you need to get into a space where you say to yourself, I'm okay with dying, even though you're not going to die. Like you just have to be that calm all the time.
mm,
And that's a hard one for people to break, because it's such a people